Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. Now, to keep all of our viewers informed on the current events happening in town and specifically within our public school system, I am always thrilled to be joined by the Superintendent, Dr. Ember Conley. Good morning.
Good morning.
So we have quite a few lists to go down. The end point is near. We were talking off camera. We can see it. There's a finish line of this school year. Thank goodness. Bond proposal.
Yep.
It's happening. You said construction of the modular units. Give us an update.
Great. So we have basically 3 projects that the board is looking at. They haven't been decided upon. The board has to decide upon those projects by August. So it's a legality to be able to get it on the ballot. So right now we have our high school expansion, which includes bringing our 9th graders back over. Okay. And it's about a $63 to $68 million project. We have our 5-6 school that's being planned right now, and then we have the possibility of purchasing land for future use. So a couple things that I would say that we've had questions about with the high school particularly is why is it so much more this go round than it was last? Right. So a couple things I would say is we have included, last time we basically said you're going to have X amount of dollars. Let's try to make everything work. This time we really did an organic type project and process where we had, what are your needs? What are, looking 10, 15 years out, what is it that we need? And there were some basics that we hadn't looked at previously, and that was the expansion of our music programs, fine arts, our career and tech ed. Not many people know this, but career and tech ed has really transformed in the last 5 years. We've moved away from a lot of the traditional type programs and moved into digital design, computer programming, and so looking at those types of programs requires different space. Our med tech programs as well. So it is a much more comprehensive process, and so that is one of the reasons that it was
well, instead of starting with a monetary amount and saying what can we fit into this, it's what are we looking to create for our students, and then what is that going to cost so we're not here again in 5 or 10 years.
Correct. Totally.
That makes sense.
And then for our 5-6 school, right now we have a team of about 30 people. It's a very robust committee. And we're in the middle of looking at our sites. So we have Bear Hollow, we have Silver Creek, we have an area in Silver Creek. We have the Kearns campus, which we'll be adding that one, and then looking at Ecker. So basically 4 sites that we're looking at. And aligning with our city and county priorities, one of those is being a net zero school. So they're going to be doing some geothermal testing right now for our site. So it's exciting.
That is exciting. Yeah, it's being on the cutting edge really in every aspect. The physical construction, the powering, the education, the space. I mean, it's Park City.
I know. So it's a super exciting time. It's very busy. And then, of course, being mindful of our future plans is looking at possible land, and our ideal amount is at least 50 acres. So if we needed to build an additional, larger school, middle school, high school, you'd be prepared
for that space.
Right.
Another hot button topic that people are talking about are the start times of getting your students to school. Not only necessarily for parental convenience, but also, studies have shown, and the brain's waking up, and teenagers, and again, you want to be on the forefront of this.
We do. So I think there's some background information. There's schools across the nation that have already done this, and there's some new legislation that was passed this year basically encouraging school districts to change our start times. So we really are looking, so we began with, is it possible? And we had a team 2 years ago, really science-based. I had some outstanding people on the committee, doctors that have backgrounds in sleep, in the sleep patterns. And so we put together yes, we want to look at this further and come up with an option to implement different start times for our adolescent children. And so right now we are at the stage of gathering that information of what implementation options are there. So we contracted with a transportation consultant that's come back with here's the options. Here's options to keep it as a 3-bell system, which means we would have a set of schools starting at one time, another set. So we basically sort of stagger it. 3-bell systems, which is what we have now. And that's cost neutral, so there's not an impact to the budget. And looking at our fleet and looking at drivers, that's something that has been very important as a factor. The other piece is that we've worked directly with the city and the county, and we've had their traffic expert working with what are the most impacted times, as we know, in Park City and also in the county. And so we have that information back as well. So we put out a survey, and I think it's super important to say that the survey was built by a statistician. It certainly wasn't built by
It was not built internally.
No, I am not
a third party.
a survey expert. And looking at the survey questions, we felt it was important to give the options, which include the elementary starting at 7:50, high school starting at 8:30, and Ecker Hill starting at 9:30. Yeah, that's right. So we give them that option. The second option is to flop the ends, so having the elementary start at 9:30, high school at 8:40, and then Ecker Hill start at 7:50.
7:50.
Right. And then the third option is basically to keep the same, what that looks like. And right now, in the first day that we released this survey, we had 800 responses. The second day we had, it's really mind-boggling.
So people care.
People do. They're very engaged. They want to know what's going on. They want to have a voice in that.
And you're giving them a voice. You're engaging them in the process.
We are, and we have had, we've been asked, well, why did you even include there's, no change? Well, it's a trigger to say, well, if we don't like what the times are with the 3-bell system, then we need to look at a 2-bell system and have the community come around and say, we're ready to make that change. It's about a $900,000 impact to the budget every year.
Okay.
So if we go to a 2-bell system, there's capital and there's ongoing costs.
So those are sort of the main topics people are talking about. Obviously, we want the best for the students, but then there's the budget factor, not only with the start times, but then also about why is this expansion, why are these renovations going to be more expensive than the last time around? Well, the common goal is to provide the absolute best for our kids, and you have some tangible evidence that we are doing just that. We have a new U.S. World News and Report ranking that I'm sure you were thrilled with.
We are. It's about 5 years that since we've been nationally ranked in the top 500, and we received the recognition. It was released 2 weeks ago that we are top in Utah by Washington Post and second in Utah, right behind a charter school, very small charter school in the Valley. And it's exciting. It really goes to show that we have a system of phenomenal students, dedicated staff, and I can't say enough that it's a partnership with the community and our parents. We can't do it alone.
No.
And that shared responsibility of education. And I always say Park City is very different than so many other communities because we all believe in the power of education and want to provide that for all of our students in the community.
Well, and with this U.S. News and World Report ranking, to give people an idea of the competition, there are over 22,000 schools around the nation that are in this ranking, and Park City, our small little mountain town, is in the top 500.
That's right.
And you're thinking of the East Coast, the West Coast, the urban developments. I mean, it's an incredible honor. And then to be the #2 most challenging behind a specific math and science charter school in the Valley in the state of Utah, and that's including all of the private schools in the Valley.
Correct.
It's quite an honor. And so
That's
I
awesome.
think it makes us just one more reason to be excited to be Parkites and live right here and be able to provide this for our kids, but also to help understand when you hear budgetary and bonds and changes, and it can all seem a little overwhelming, and well, where is this going and why is this different? Clearly we're moving in the right direction.
We are. We have a recognition actually today at 10 a.m. at the high school as a recognition for being ranked in the U.S. News and the Washington Post.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm thrilled for you, and thank you for coming in to inform
bet.
all the viewers. All right, we're going to take a quick break here on the Mountain Morning Show and be back with your summer bucket list challenge, all the activities happening right here in Park City and Summit County that you won't want to miss. We'll be back, and you're watching Park City Television.